The Galactic Research Station Omega-7 hummed with quiet efficiency as Dr. Zefix adjusted the crystalline display panels floating before his 8 delicate appendages. The Velthari scientist's translucent skin shimmered with excitement as he reviewed the final specifications for their latest breakthrough. After decades of research, they had finally perfected the gravity manipulation suit that would revolutionize space exploration across the galaxy. The prototype is ready for initial testing, announced Dr. Kreshta, her serpentine form coiling around the central laboratory pillar. The Sithak engineer's scales rippled with the bioluminescent patterns that indicated professional satisfaction. All gravitational field generators are operating within acceptable parameters. The gravity suit hung suspended in the center of the lab, its sleek metallic surface reflecting the soft blue lighting of the research facility. To most species in the Galactic Confederation, it looked like a marvel of engineering. The suit could manipulate local gravity fields, allowing the wearer to experience different levels of gravitational force. This technology would enable species from low-gravity worlds to safely explore high-gravity planets, and vice versa. Dr. Zefix's colleague, the insectoid Thrix engineer named Clicking of Many Stones, tapped his chitinous claws against the workstation. The applications are limitless, he buzzed through his translation device. Mining operations on heavy worlds, exploration of gas giant moons, even recreational activities for different species. The 3 scientists represented some of the most advanced civilizations in the known galaxy. The Velthari had mastered energy manipulation, the Sithak excelled at biological engineering, and the Thrix were unmatched in technological precision. Together, they had spent 5 years developing this revolutionary device. "We should begin with conservative tests," Dr. Zefix suggested, his voice carrying the melodic tones typical of his species. "Perhaps increasing gravity by 20% above standard galactic norm." Dr. Kreshta's tongue flicked out in agreement. The suit's bioneural interface should adapt to any species' nervous system within moments. "We have tested it with volunteers from 12 different worlds." Clicking of Many Stones activated a holographic display showing the suit's internal components. Micrograviton generators were woven throughout the fabric, controlled by quantum processors that could calculate and adjust gravitational fields thousands of times per second. The suit could theoretically generate gravity fields ranging from 0 to 10 times standard galactic gravity. "The safety protocols are comprehensive," the Thrix engineer explained. "If the wearer's vital signs show distress, the suit automatically reduces gravity to safe levels. Emergency shutdown can be triggered by thought command, vocal command, or manual override." As they prepared for the first official test, none of the 3 scientists noticed the small observation window where a human figure watched with intense interest. Captain Sarah Mitchell of the Earth diplomatic vessel Endeavour had been granted permission to observe the demonstration as part of the ongoing cultural exchange program between Earth and the Galactic Confederation. Humans had only joined the galactic community 3 years ago, and most alien species still considered them a primitive, curiosity-driven race from a backwater solar system. Earth's gravity was actually higher than the galactic standard, and humans were often seen as unnecessarily robust for civilized space travel. Sarah watched as Dr. Zefix carefully donned the gravity suit. The metallic fabric seemed to flow over his elongated form like liquid mercury, automatically adjusting to his unique physiology. Indicator lights along the suit's surface glowed a soft green, confirming proper activation and calibration. "Beginning test sequence 1, Dr. Zefix announced. Increasing local gravity by 15%. The change was subtle at first. Dr. Zefix's movements became slightly more deliberate as he walked around the testing area. His graceful, floating gait became more grounded, and his 8 appendages moved with increased effort. "Fascinating," he murmured. "The sensation is quite remarkable. I can feel the increased pull affecting my entire body structure." Dr. Kreshta monitored the suit's readouts from her control station. All systems functioning normally. Biosigns show mild stress, but nothing dangerous. The suit is maintaining perfect field stability. They gradually increased the gravity over the next hour, pushing the field up to 30% above standard. Dr. Zefix reported various sensations: increased pressure in his circulatory system, greater effort required for movement, and a strange sense of being more connected to the ground beneath his feet. This will be invaluable for species wanting to visit high-gravity worlds, clicking of many stones observed. The gradual adaptation protocol we have developed should prevent gravity shock in most physiologies. Captain Mitchell continued to watch through the observation window, her mind racing with possibilities that the alien scientists hadn't considered. Growing up on Earth, she had experienced natural high gravity her entire life. She had also spent years in Earth's military, where physical conditioning was pushed to extremes that would horrify most galactic species. The human perspective on physical challenge was fundamentally different from most alien civilizations. Where other species saw obstacles to overcome with technology, humans often saw opportunities for improvement and growth. Sarah's eyes gleamed as she imagined the possibilities. After another hour of testing, Dr. Zefix carefully removed the gravity suit. His form seemed to float as he readjusted to standard gravity, and his skin took on a slightly exhausted hue. The experience was enlightening, he reported. Though I must admit, I am grateful to return to normal gravitational conditions. Extended exposure would require significant physical conditioning. Which brings us to an interesting question, Dr. Kreshton noted. How will different species adapt to prolonged use? We should conduct extended trials with volunteers from various worlds. Clicking of many stones began compiling their data. The suit performed flawlessly. We are ready to present our findings to the Galactic Science Council. This technology could be commercialized within 2 standard years. As the 3 scientists celebrated their success, Captain Mitchell made a decision that would change everything. She activated her communication device and sent a message to her ship's chief engineer. Thompson, I need you to contact Dr. Rodriguez back on Earth. Tell her I have a proposition that might interest the sports science division. The Endeavor's chief engineer, a former Marine like Sarah, responded immediately. What kind of proposition, Captain? The kind that would make our old drill instructors weep with joy, Sarah replied with a grin that would have confused the alien scientists if they had seen it. I think I just found the ultimate workout equipment. Unknown to the 3 researchers, their scientific breakthrough was about to be transformed in ways they never could have imagined. The gravity suit that they saw as a tool for safe exploration was about to become something entirely different in human hands. The next morning, Captain Mitchell requested a formal meeting with the research team. Dr. Zefix, Dr. Kreshta, and clicking of many stones gathered in the station's diplomatic conference room, curious about what the human representative wanted to discuss. Honored scientists, Sarah began, using the formal address preferred in galactic diplomatic settings. I observed your remarkable demonstration yesterday. Your gravity manipulation technology is truly impressive. Dr. Zefix's skin shifted to a pleased purple hue. Thank you, Captain Mitchell. We are quite proud of our achievement. The applications for interspecies exploration are significant. Indeed, Sarah agreed. However, I believe you may have overlooked some additional applications that could be quite valuable. The 3 scientists exchanged glances. Dr. Kreshta spoke first. We are always interested in new perspectives. What applications do you envision? Sarah activated a small holographic projector she had brought from her ship. Images of human athletes filled the air, runners, weightlifters, martial artists, and soldiers in training. On Earth, we have a concept called physical fitness training. Humans deliberately subject themselves to physical stress to improve their strength, endurance, and overall health. Clicking of many stones, antennae twitched in confusion. You voluntarily create physical discomfort? For what purpose? To become stronger, Sarah explained simply. When muscles work against resistance, they adapt and grow. When the cardiovascular system is challenged, it becomes more efficient. We have developed this practice into both medical therapy and recreational activity. Dr. Zefix studied the holographic images with fascination. The humans in the displays were performing activities that would be considered torture by most galactic standards. They were lifting massive weights, running until their breathing became labored, and engaging in combat training that would hospitalize most aliens. This is normal behavior for your species? Dr. Kreshta asked, her scales showing patterns of disbelief. Not just normal, but highly valued, Sarah confirmed. Physical fitness is considered essential for health, mental well-being, and personal achievement. We have entire industries built around helping people exercise more effectively. She changed the holographic display to show Earth's gyms, training facilities, and sports complexes. The aliens watched in amazement as humans voluntarily subjected themselves to increasingly difficult physical challenges. Your gravity suit could revolutionize human fitness training, Sarah continued. Instead of using crude weights and mechanical resistance, we could train under variable gravity conditions. Imagine the possibilities for rehabilitation medicine, athletic performance enhancement, and general health improvement. The three scientists sat in stunned silence. The concept of deliberately seeking physical difficulty for self-improvement was so foreign to their worldview that they struggled to process it. You wish to purchase our gravity suits for voluntary physical stress. Clicking of many stones finally managed. I wish to propose a partnership, Sarah corrected. Earth has significant resources and manufacturing capabilities. We could help you produce these suits on a massive scale, but marketed for an entirely new purpose. Dr. Zefix's skin shifted through several colors as he processed this information. You believe other humans would pay to experience the discomfort we observed in our testing? I believe humans would pay significant amounts to experience controlled, variable gravity training, Sarah said with confidence. Our preliminary analysis suggests this could be a multi-billion credit market. The implications slowly began to dawn on the three researchers. They had created what they thought was a specialized scientific instrument, but the humans saw it as consumer recreational equipment. We would need to conduct extensive testing with human volunteers, Dr. Kreshta said slowly. Human physiology is quite different from the species we have studied. Earth would be happy to provide volunteer test subjects, Sarah assured them. I guarantee you will have more volunteers than you can handle. Clicking of many stones began calculating potential profit margins in his head. The production costs could be significantly reduced with human manufacturing techniques. The market volume you suggest would justify major investments in automated fabrication. As the meeting continued, none of them realized they were about to unleash something that would fundamentally change both human fitness culture and the galactic economy. The gravity suit was about to evolve from a scientific instrument into the most sought-after piece of exercise equipment in human history. The seeds of a revolution had been planted, and they were about to grow in ways that would surprise everyone involved. 6 months later, the Galactic Research Station Omega-7 looked nothing like the quiet scientific facility it had once been. What had started as a small partnership between Earth and three alien scientists had exploded into the most unusual joint venture in galactic history. The station's cargo bays had been converted into testing facilities, and a constant stream of human volunteers arrived on transport ships from Earth. Dr. Zefix stood in the primary observation deck, watching the latest group of human test subjects with a mixture of fascination and bewilderment. His translucent skin flickered through colors he had never experienced before, indicating emotions for which his species had no names. Below him, 12 humans wearing prototype gravity suits were engaged in what they called a workout session. The scene was unlike anything recorded in galactic scientific literature. The humans were deliberately increasing their suits' gravity fields to levels that would incapacitate most known species, and they appeared to be enjoying themselves. Loud music pounded through the facility's speakers, while the humans shouted encouragement to each other as they performed exercises that defied rational explanation. 40 more seconds, yelled Marcus Thompson, a former Earth Marine who had become the primary human liaison for the project. He was wearing a gravity suit set to 2.3 times Earth normal, performing what humans called burpees with an enthusiasm that horrified the alien observers. Dr. Kreshta slithered into the observation deck, her scales displaying patterns of deep confusion. I have reviewed the data from yesterday's testing sessions 3 times, she announced. The human volunteers are requesting higher gravity levels than our safety protocols permit. How much higher? Dr. Zefix asked, though he dreaded the answer. They want to test at 5 times standard galactic gravity, she replied. Some of the more experienced subjects claim they can handle even more. Clicking of many stones scuttled into the conversation, his chitinous body clicking with agitation. This is far beyond our original design parameters. The suit was never intended for such extreme applications. Through the observation window, They watched a human woman named Dr. Elena Rodriguez performing what she called gravity squats while wearing a suit set to triple Earth normal. Her face was red with exertion, sweat dripped from her forehead, and her breathing was labored. According to every known biological standard, she should have been in severe distress. Instead, she was grinning. "Incredible," she gasped between repetitions. "The muscle activation is phenomenal. I can feel muscle fibers engaging that I didn't even know existed." Dr. Rodriguez was Earth's leading expert in gravitational physiology, and she had volunteered to personally test the suit's potential for human fitness applications. Her preliminary reports had sent shockwaves through both Earth's scientific community and the galactic research establishment. "The gravity suits are creating training adaptations we never thought possible," she had reported to Earth Command the previous week. "Bone density improvements, cardiovascular efficiency gains, and muscle development are occurring at rates that challenge our understanding of human physiology." Captain Mitchell had established a permanent office on the station to coordinate what had become known as the Gravity Project. She arrived at the observation deck carrying a stack of data tablets and wearing the expression of someone who was simultaneously thrilled and overwhelmed. "We have a problem," she announced to the three alien scientists. "A good problem, but a problem nonetheless." Dr. Zefix's skin shifted to an inquiring blue. "What kind of problem?" "Earth wants to order 10,000 units for immediate delivery," Sarah explained. "Military applications, medical rehabilitation, professional athletics, and commercial fitness centers. They're offering to triple our initial payment." The three aliens exchanged looks of panic. Clicking of mini stones began rapid calculations on his personal computing device. "Our current production capacity can manufacture perhaps 50 units per month. 10,000 units would require 20 years at current rates," Dr. Kreshtov finished. "Unless we completely redesign our manufacturing processes." "Which brings me to the second part of the problem," Sarah continued. "Earth is offering to establish joint manufacturing facilities on Luna, Mars, and 3 orbital platforms. They want to mass-produce gravity suits for the entire human population." Dr. Zefix felt his consciousness spinning. When they had first developed the gravity suit, he had imagined perhaps a few hundred units being manufactured for scientific expeditions. The concept of billions of humans voluntarily using their technology for physical torture was beyond his comprehension. "Captain Mitchell," he said carefully, "perhaps we should discuss the safety implications of mass production. These devices were designed for careful, controlled use by trained personnel." Sarah laughed, a sound that still made the aliens uncomfortable. "Doctor, you clearly don't understand human nature. Give us a piece of exercise equipment, and we'll find ways to use it that will amaze and terrify you." As if to prove her point, the humans in the testing facility below began what they called a gravity circuit training session. They moved from station to station, each with different gravity settings, performing exercises that pushed their bodies to the absolute limit of endurance. One station had humans doing push-ups in 2.5 times Earth gravity. Another had them running in place wearing suits set to 1.8 times normal. A third station featured resistance training using the gravity suits to create variable resistance during lifting motions. "The innovation rate is remarkable," Dr. Rodriguez called up to the observation deck through the communication system. "Every day, someone discovers a new way to use the suits. Yesterday, Maria figured out how to create gravity gradients for balance training. Tomorrow, we're testing zero-gravity recovery sequences." The alien scientists watched in amazement as the humans continuously pushed their technology in new directions. What they had seen as a static tool with fixed applications, humans viewed as raw material for unlimited creativity. "The commercial applications are expanding daily," Captain Mitchell explained, reviewing her data tablets. "Athletic performance enhancement, medical rehabilitation, entertainment, military training, and even artistic performance. Earth's entertainment industry wants to create gravity-based sport competitions." Dr. Kreshtov's scales rippled with overwhelmed patterns. "Sport competitions? Using our scientific instruments. They're calling it gravball," Sarah said with obvious excitement. "Three-dimensional athletics in variable gravity fields. Early simulations suggest it could become the most popular sport in human history." Clicking of mini stones stopped his calculations and looked at the group. We need to expand our understanding of this partnership. The humans are transforming our technology faster than we can document the changes. As they discussed the rapid expansion of the project, none of them noticed the communication alert flashing on Captain Mitchell's primary tablet. When she finally saw it, her face went pale. "What is it?" Dr. Zefix asked, noting her sudden change in expression. "Message from Earth Command," she said slowly. "Other human colonies have heard about the gravity suits. Mars Colony wants exclusive rights for terraforming applications. Europa Station wants them for deep-sea training simulations. And the asteroid miners." She paused, reading further. "The asteroid miners want suits that can generate gravity fields up to 20 times Earth normal." The three alien scientists stared at her in horror. Dr. Zefix's skin went completely transparent, indicating shock beyond his species' normal emotional range. 20 times. Dr. Kreshtal whispered. "That would crush most known life forms instantly. Humans working in zero gravity for months want to simulate the highest possible gravity during their exercise periods," Sarah explained. "They believe it will help them maintain bone density and muscle mass during extended space missions." Clicking of many stones began tapping his claws against his workspace in the rapid pattern that indicated extreme agitation. "Our suit cannot safely generate such fields. The power requirements alone would be enormous." "Then, we upgrade the design," Sarah said matter-of-factly. "Earth's quantum energy laboratories believe they can miniaturize fusion power sources to fit in a suit-sized package. Combined with your graviton manipulation technology, we could create suits capable of generating almost any gravity field." The implications hit all three alien scientists simultaneously. They had accidentally created the foundation for a human fitness revolution that was spiraling far beyond anything they had imagined. The humans weren't just adopting their technology, they were evolving it at a pace that challenged the aliens' ability to keep up. "There is something else we must consider," Dr. Zefix said slowly. "If humans continue to train under increasingly high gravity conditions, what will happen to their physical capabilities?" Dr. Rodriguez's voice crackled through the communication system as if she had heard his question. "Preliminary data suggests humans training regularly in high gravity are developing physical capabilities beyond baseline human norms. Increased strength, faster reflexes, improved spatial awareness, and enhanced endurance." "Enhanced by how much?" Dr. Kreshtal asked. "Conservative estimates suggest 20 to 40% improvement in all major physical metrics," Dr. Rodriguez replied. "But we're only 6 months into the program. Long-term adaptations could be much more significant." Captain Mitchell set down her tablets and looked at the three alien scientists with an expression they had learned to recognize as determination mixed with mischief. "Doctors, I think we need to have a much larger conversation about where this project is heading. Because if my species is going to transform itself through your technology, we need to make sure we're all prepared for the consequences." The three aliens realized that their simple scientific breakthrough had become something unprecedented in galactic history, a technology that could fundamentally alter the physical capabilities of an entire species. And, knowing humans, they were going to push those alterations as far as physically possible. The revolution had only just begun. 2 years after the first gravity suit demonstration, the galaxy had been fundamentally altered in ways no one could have predicted. The Galactic Trade Consortium meeting hall buzzed with an energy that had never existed before humans joined their economy. Representatives from hundreds of worlds gathered to discuss what had become known as the human gravity phenomenon. Ambassador Velnash of the Centauri Collective floated at his designated position, his crystalline form refracting light in patterns that indicated deep concern. "The economic disruption has been unprecedented," he announced to the assembly. "Human demand for gravity suits has created supply shortages across 17 sectors." The statistics were staggering. What had started as a small scientific collaboration had exploded into the largest manufacturing operation in galactic history. Earth had established gravity suit production facilities on 43 worlds, employed over 2 million aliens in the manufacturing process, and created entirely new economies around what humans insisted on calling fitness equipment. Dr. Zefix, now bearing the title of Chief Technology Officer for Gravity Applications, stood before the assembly with his skin displaying colors that indicated bewildered pride. The quiet scientist had become one of the most influential beings in the galaxy, though he still didn't entirely understand how it had happened. "The manufacturing statistics are remarkable," he reported, his melodic voice carrying across the vast chamber. "Current production stands at 50,000 gravity suits per standard day, with demand still exceeding supply by a factor of 12. Clicking of Stones, who had become the director of quality control for the operation, added his assessment. "Human engineering modifications have improved our original design by 300%. The suits now incorporate fusion power sources, quantum field generators, and adaptive bioneural interfaces that surpass our initial capabilities." Dr. Kreshta, now the chief of biological safety for the project, slithered to the presentation platform. Her scales showed the stressed patterns she had developed over the past 2 years of trying to keep pace with human innovation. "The safety protocols have been challenging to establish," she admitted. "Humans consistently request gravity levels that exceed our recommended maximums. Current suit models can generate fields up to 50 times standard gravity, though we strongly advise against such extremes." A ripple of shock went through the assembly. Representatives from low-gravity worlds couldn't comprehend forces that would instantly flatten their populations. Ambassador Thrixka of the Hive worlds clicked his mandibles in disbelief. 50 times standard gravity? That is beyond the crushing point of most known materials. How do humans survive such conditions? Dr. Kreshta's scales shifted to deeper stress patterns. "That is what we are still trying to understand. Human physiology is adapting to gravity training in ways that challenge our understanding of biological limits." Captain Mitchell, now promoted to admiral and serving as the director of galactic human relations, activated a holographic display that filled the center of the assembly chamber. The images showed humans engaged in activities that defied rational explanation. Humans were running, jumping, and fighting while wearing gravity suits set to levels that would crush most alien species. They moved with fluid grace under conditions that should have rendered them immobile. Most disturbing of all, they appeared to be enjoying themselves. "These images were recorded last week at the Mars Training Complex," Admiral Mitchell explained. "Standard training routine for what we call gravity athletes, humans who specialize in high-gravity performance." The display showed a human woman performing aerial acrobatics in 15 times Earth gravity. She flipped, twisted, and landed with precision that seemed to mock the laws of physics. Her movements were so fluid that many aliens initially thought the recording was being played in slow motion. "Impossible," whispered Ambassador Quell of the ethereal domains. "No biological entity should be capable of such performance under extreme gravitational stress." "And yet," Admiral Mitchell replied with the smile that aliens had learned to both fear and respect, "this represents intermediate-level human performance. Our advanced practitioners regularly train in gravity fields exceeding 30 times standard." She changed the display to show footage from Earth's first Gravity Olympics, an event that had attracted over 2 billion human viewers, and left the galactic community in stunned silence. Humans competed in dozens of events that combined traditional athletics with variable gravity challenges. The marathon had been run through a course where gravity shifted from 0.1 to 5.0 times Earth normal every kilometer. The gymnastics events took place in gravity fields that changed mid-routine. The combat sports occurred in gravitational conditions that would have been torture chambers for most species. "The cultural impact has been as significant as the technological advancement," Admiral Mitchell continued. "Gravity training has become integrated into human education, medicine, entertainment, and military preparation. Children now learn basic gravity adaptation as part of standard curriculum." Ambassador Velnash's crystalline form flickered with alarmed patterns. "You are modifying your species' development through technology that was designed for scientific exploration." "We are optimizing human potential through tools you provided," Admiral Mitchell corrected. "The results speak for themselves." Dr. Zefix activated another display showing the medical data that had emerged from 2 years of gravity training. The statistics were unprecedented in galactic medical literature. Humans who trained regularly in high gravity showed bone density improvements of up to 400%. Cardiovascular efficiency had increased by an average of 250%. Muscle strength and endurance metrics exceeded anything previously recorded for baseline human physiology. Most remarkably, neurological development had accelerated, with gravity-trained humans showing enhanced spatial reasoning, reaction times, and cognitive processing speed. The adaptive capacity of human physiology is extraordinary, Dr. Zefix explained. They are essentially evolving in real time through technological stimulus. Dr. Kreshta added her biological assessment. The genetic expression changes we have observed suggest permanent alterations. Humans who undergo extensive gravity training are passing enhanced physical capabilities to their offspring. A stunned silence fell over the assembly as the implications became clear. Humans weren't just using alien technology for exercise, they were using it to accelerate their species' evolution. Ambassador Quell spoke first. You are saying that humans are becoming different. Stronger, faster, more resilient, Admiral Mitchell confirmed. But still fundamentally human. Still curious, still social, still driven to explore and improve themselves. Still inclined to turn scientific instruments into sporting equipment, Dr. Zefix added with what might have been humor. Clicking of many stones activated his own data display. The economic implications extend beyond manufacturing. Humans are purchasing massive quantities of raw materials for gravity suit production. They have become our largest consumers of exotic metals, quantum processors, and bioneural components. The economic statistics were as overwhelming as the biological ones. Human gravity suit production had created jobs for millions of aliens across hundreds of worlds. Earth's payment for materials and expertise had funded infrastructure improvements throughout the galaxy. Some previously struggling colonies had become prosperous solely through their involvement in gravity suit manufacturing. They have fundamentally altered our economic structure, Ambassador Velnash observed. Human demand drives markets for technologies we had barely considered commercially viable. Admiral Mitchell smiled again. Wait until you see what we're planning next. She activated a new display showing blueprints for what humans were calling gravity cities, entire settlements designed around variable gravity environments. Residential areas with adjustable gravity for comfort and health. Recreational facilities with gravity zones for different activities. Industrial complexes where gravity could be optimized for specific manufacturing processes. Earth is planning to establish gravity-based settlements throughout the solar system, she explained. Mars Colony wants to use gravity manipulation to simulate Earth conditions for permanent residence. Luna Base is designing low-gravity manufacturing facilities that can produce goods impossible to create under standard conditions. The alien representatives stared at the plans in fascination and horror. Humans were proposing to remake their entire civilization around technology that had been intended for occasional scientific use. The social implications are staggering, Ambassador Thrixka observed. You are restructuring your species' relationship with physics itself. We're optimizing our environment for human potential, Admiral Mitchell replied. The same way you've optimized your technologies for your species' needs. Dr. Zefix's skin shifted through a spectrum of colors indicating complex emotions. 2 years ago, we created a tool to help different species explore each other's worlds safely. We never imagined it would become the foundation for transforming an entire civilization. That's the thing about humans, Admiral Mitchell said with obvious pride. Give us any tool, and we'll find ways to use it that surprise everyone, including ourselves. As the assembly processed this information, a new communication alert appeared on Admiral Mitchell's display. Her expression shifted from pride to barely contained excitement. What is it now? Dr. Kreshta asked with the tone of someone who had learned to expect the impossible. Message from the Jupiter Mining Consortium, Admiral Mitchell replied, her voice carrying a mix of amusement and anticipation. They want to discuss gravity suits for working inside the planet's core. The alien representatives looked at each other with expressions ranging from amazement to terror. Just when they thought humans had pushed gravity technology to its absolute limits, they found new ways to surprise everyone. The revolution was far from over. If anything, it was just reaching the point where it would become truly extraordinary. 5 years after the first gravity suit test, the galaxy faced a crisis that no one had anticipated. The emergency session of the Galactic Security Council convened on Nexus Prime, the administrative capital of known space, as reports flooded in from across hundreds of star systems. Admiral Sarah Mitchell stood before the most powerful beings in the galaxy. Her appearance dramatically changed from the simple ship captain she had once been. 5 years of gravity training had transformed her into something that challenged the definition of baseline humanity. Her movements carried a fluid precision that made seasoned warriors nervous, and her presence commanded attention in ways that transcended rank or politics. "The situation is unprecedented," announced Supreme Counselor Vex High, his ancient form radiating the authority of a civilization that had governed galactic affairs for millennia. Human expansion has accelerated beyond all predictive models. The holographic displays surrounding the chamber showed the scope of what had become known as the human gravity revolution. In 5 years, humans had established permanent settlements on over 300 worlds, many of which had been considered uninhabitable by galactic standards. High-gravity death worlds that crushed most alien explorers had become thriving human colonies. Gas giant moons with crushing atmospheric pressure hosted human mining operations. Even the surfaces of neutron stars were being explored by humans wearing the most advanced gravity suits ever created. Dr. Zefix, now bearing the title of Architect of Gravitational Sciences, presented the technical analysis that had prompted the emergency session. His skin displayed colors that indicated emotions ranging from pride to terror. Human gravity suit technology has evolved beyond our original designs by orders of magnitude, he reported. Current models incorporate quantum entanglement generators, dark matter manipulators, and gravitational field projectors that can alter spacetime itself. The statistics were staggering. Humans had taken the aliens' simple gravity manipulation device and transformed it into technology that bordered on reality manipulation. The most advanced suits could generate localized gravitational fields exceeding 100 times Earth normal, create zero-gravity pockets in planetary atmospheres, and even generate artificial gravity wells in open space. Clicking of Many Stones, now serving as Director of Technological Assessment, provided the manufacturing update that had sent shock waves through the galactic economy. Human production capacity now exceeds our original estimates by a factor of 10,000. They manufacture more gravity suits in one standard day than we produced in our first century of development. Dr. Kreshta, despite her new title as Chief of Xenobiological Adaptation, still displayed stress patterns when discussing human physiology. The biological adaptations have exceeded all known parameters for evolutionary development. Humans who have undergone extensive gravity training demonstrate capabilities that challenge our understanding of biological limits. She activated a medical display that showed comparison data between baseline humans and what had become known as gravity-adapted humans. The differences were remarkable. Gravity-adapted humans showed bone density levels 3 times higher than baseline. Their cardiovascular systems operated with efficiency ratings that exceeded most alien species. Muscle fiber composition had altered to provide strength and endurance combinations previously thought impossible. Most significantly, their neurological development had accelerated, creating enhanced cognitive capabilities and spatial awareness that bordered on precognitive. They are becoming something new, Dr. Kreshta concluded. Still recognizably human, but enhanced beyond our ability to quantify. Supreme Counselor Vex High's ancient eyes focused on Admiral Mitchell. Explain to this council why your species has chosen to fundamentally alter itself through technology designed for scientific exploration. Admiral Mitchell's response carried the confidence of someone who represented a civilization that had discovered its true potential. With respect, Counselor, we didn't alter ourselves. We revealed what we already were. She activated her own display showing human achievements that had been accomplished through gravity training. Humans were now working in environments that instantly killed most known life forms. They were performing physical and mental tasks that required capabilities beyond anything previously recorded in galactic databases. Humans have always been adaptation specialists, she explained. We evolved on a world with higher gravity than galactic standard, in an environment that constantly challenged our survival. The gravity suits didn't change us, they allowed us to express our natural potential. The display showed footage from the latest human expansion projects. Humans in advanced gravity suits were establishing research stations inside gas giant atmospheres, mining operations in the cores of planets, and even exploratory missions to the event horizons of black holes. Your expansion rate threatens the balance of galactic civilization, declared Ambassador Quell of the ethereal domains. Human colonies are being established faster than our diplomatic systems can process. You are claiming worlds that have been considered uninhabitable for millions of years. We're claiming worlds that were uninhabitable for your species, Admiral Mitchell corrected. Human physiology, enhanced through gravity adaptation, allows us to thrive in environments that remain dangerous for other civilizations. Supreme Counselor Vexhai reviewed the territorial expansion reports with growing concern. In 5 standard years, human-controlled space has expanded from 1 solar system to over 400. Your growth rate suggests you will control more territory than the rest of the galaxy combined within 2 decades. Only if you consider worlds that no one else wants, Admiral Mitchell replied. We're not competing with existing civilizations. We're inhabiting places that everyone else has written off as impossible. Dr. Zefix interjected with a technical analysis that highlighted the scope of human innovation. Human gravity suit modifications have created technologies we never imagined possible. They are manipulating gravitational fields in ways that approach the theoretical limits of physics. The most advanced human gravity suits incorporated technologies that seem to border on magic to most alien observers. Quantum gravity manipulation allowed humans to create localized distortions in spacetime. Gravitational field projection enabled them to generate artificial gravity wells that could be used for propulsion, defense, or environmental control. Some human researchers had even begun experimenting with gravitational time dilation, using intense gravity fields to slow local time flow for extended lifespans or accelerated research programs. They have transformed our scientific instrument into the foundation for post-scarcity civilization, clicking of many stones observed. Human manufacturing capabilities, enhanced by variable gravity environments, can produce goods at rates and qualities that exceed anything in galactic history. The economic implications were as significant as the territorial expansion. Human colonies, operating in high-gravity environments that optimized manufacturing processes, were producing goods and materials that had become essential to galactic commerce. Entire alien civilizations now depended on human-manufactured products that could only be created under the extreme conditions that humans found routine. Your economic influence has grown beyond mere trade partnerships, observed Ambassador Velnash. Many of our worlds now rely on human manufacturing for essential technologies. Admiral Mitchell smiled with the expression that aliens had learned to recognize as deeply unsettling. Would you prefer we restrict our production capabilities to maintain artificial scarcity? Before anyone could respond, an urgent communication alert interrupted the session. The display showed an incoming message from the Galactic Deep Space Monitoring Network, classified at the highest security levels. Supreme Counselor Vexhai received the message, and his ancient form stiffened with alarm. This changes everything, he announced to the assembly. What is it? Admiral Mitchell asked, though her enhanced spatial awareness had already detected the shift in the room's emotional atmosphere. Long-range sensors have detected an approaching threat from outside our galaxy, the Supreme Counselor explained. A massive fleet of unknown origin, traveling at speeds that suggest technology far advanced beyond our capabilities. The chamber fell silent as the implications became clear. An external threat was approaching that exceeded the defensive capabilities of all known galactic civilizations. Estimated time until arrival? Admiral Mitchell asked with the calm tone of someone trained for crisis management. 18 standard months, the Supreme Counselor replied. Based on current trajectory and velocity, they will enter our galaxy at the outer rim territories. Admiral Mitchell's expression shifted to one that combined calculation with anticipation. Counselor, I believe it's time we discussed human defensive capabilities. Dr. Zefix's skin shifted to colors indicating sudden realization. The gravity manipulation technology could be adapted for defensive applications, Admiral Mitchell finished. Human engineers have been developing gravitational weapons systems as a theoretical exercise. With the threat of external invasion, those theories could become very practical. The alien representatives looked at each other with expressions ranging from hope to terror. The humans who had transformed their scientific instrument into fitness equipment might now need to transform it again into the galaxy's salvation. The revolution was about to enter its most crucial phase. The Battle of the Outer Rim would be remembered as the moment when the galaxy discovered the true potential of human ingenuity. 18 months after the alien threat was detected, the unknown fleet arrived with devastating force, overwhelming the first line of galactic defense stations within hours. Admiral Sarah Mitchell stood on the command deck of the human flagship Gravitational Supremacy, watching tactical displays that showed the scope of the invasion. The enemy vessels were massive, dark constructs that seemed to absorb light and energy, moving through space with technology that defied conventional understanding of physics. Enemy fleet composition is unlike anything in our databases, reported Commander Elena Rodriguez, the former fitness researcher who had become Earth's leading expert in gravitational warfare. They appear to use some form of dark matter propulsion and energy absorption technology. The invading force had already destroyed 3 major galactic defense fleets using weapons that seemed to drain energy from conventional ships and turn their own power sources against them. Traditional military technology was proving useless against an enemy that could neutralize energy weapons and absorb conventional attacks. Dr. Zefix, now serving as chief scientific advisor to the Human Defense Force, monitored the gravitational sensors with his skin displaying colors that indicated intense concentration. Their ships generate massive gravitational distortions. They are using gravity manipulation technology that exceeds even our most advanced theoretical models. 5 years of human innovation had transformed the simple gravity suit into the foundation for weapons systems that existed beyond the imagination of most galactic civilizations. Human ships were equipped with gravitational cannons that could create localized black holes, gravity mines that generated crushing fields in open space, and defensive systems that manipulated space-time itself. All human vessels, this is Admiral Mitchell, Sarah announced across the fleet communication network. Execute Operation Gravity Well. The human fleet, composed of ships built specifically for gravitational warfare, began an attack pattern that no enemy could have anticipated. Instead of direct confrontation, they created a complex series of gravitational field manipulations that turned space itself into a weapon. Human gravity generators, evolved from the original fitness equipment, began creating intersecting gravitational fields throughout the battle zone. The effect was to trap the enemy fleet in a maze of crushing gravity wells, time dilation fields, and spatial distortions that made conventional navigation impossible. Enemy vessels are attempting to compensate for gravitational interference, reported Tactical Officer Marcus Thompson, the former Marine who had become humanity's first gravity warfare specialist. Their dark matter systems appear confused by our field manipulations. The human strategy was unlike anything seen in galactic military history. Instead of trying to destroy enemy ships directly, they were using gravity manipulation to control the battlefield environment. Enemy vessels found themselves caught in gravitational currents that pulled them toward artificial singularities, trapped in time dilation fields that slowed their responses, or crushed by gravity wells that exceeded the structural limits of their technology. Dr. Kreshta, monitoring biological systems from the command center, observed something that challenged her understanding of both human physiology and military tactics. The human crews are operating under gravitational conditions that should render them unconscious. How are they maintaining combat effectiveness? The answer lay in 5 years of gravity adaptation training. Human crews who had spent years exercising in extreme gravity fields were now operating in combat conditions that would incapacitate any other known species. They performed complex tactical maneuvers while experiencing gravity forces that served as devastating weapons against their enemies. Gravity-adapted humans can function in environments that are lethal to most life forms, Commander Rodriguez explained as she coordinated weapons systems while experiencing forces that would crush baseline humans. We are fighting in conditions that our enemies cannot survive. Clicking of many stones, now serving as engineering coordinator for the human fleet, provided technical updates that demonstrated the evolution of gravity suit technology into military applications. Human gravity generators are creating field effects that exceed our original design parameters by factors of thousands. They have weaponized our scientific instruments beyond recognition. The most advanced human weapons systems incorporated gravitational manipulation technologies that approached the limits of theoretical physics. Gravity cannons could generate singularity effects that created temporary black holes at targeted coordinates. Defensive systems generated gravitational shields that deflected energy attacks by bending space-time around human ships. Some human vessels had been modified to operate as gravitational platforms, creating massive field effects that could influence entire solar systems. These ships served as gravitational anchors, generating the complex field interactions that made large-scale gravity warfare possible. Enemy fleet is fragmenting, reported Tactical Officer Thompson. Their formation integrity is breaking down under gravitational stress. The enemy vessels, designed to absorb and redirect energy attacks, had no defense against weapons that manipulated the fundamental structure of space-time. Human gravitational attacks bypassed their energy absorption systems entirely, creating physical effects that their technology could not counter. As the battle continued, the scope of human innovation became apparent to alien observers. The simple fitness equipment had evolved into military technology that exceeded the defensive capabilities of civilizations millions of years more advanced than humanity. Remarkable, Supreme Counselor Vexhai commented from the observation command ship, watching human forces systematically disable enemy vessels through gravitational manipulation. They have achieved in 5 years what most civilizations cannot develop in millennia. Admiral Mitchell coordinated the final phase of the battle with the calm precision of someone who had spent years training in conditions that exceeded combat stress. All gravity platforms execute final convergence. Create primary singularity at coordinates Mark 7. The human fleet began a gravitational manipulation sequence that defied conventional understanding of space warfare. Multiple gravity generators worked in coordination to create a controlled singularity effect that began drawing the entire enemy fleet toward a single point in space. The enemy vessels, caught in gravitational fields that exceeded their technological ability to counter, began accelerating toward the artificial singularity whether they wanted to or not. Their dark matter propulsion systems, designed to manipulate conventional spacetime, could not compensate for the complex gravitational effects that human technology was generating. Enemy fleet is trapped in convergence effect, Commander Rodriguez reported. Gravitational acceleration is exceeding their escape velocity capabilities. As the enemy vessels disappeared into the artificial singularity, the human fleet maintained position using gravitational manipulation that allowed them to operate safely within the extreme field effects they had created. Years of training in crushing gravity had prepared human crews for combat conditions that would destroy any other military force. Battle concluded, Admiral Mitchell announced. Enemy fleet neutralized through gravitational containment. The aftermath of the battle sent shock waves through galactic civilization. An invasion force that had easily defeated conventional military technology had been neutralized by humans using weapons evolved from exercise equipment. Dr. Zefix, processing the tactical data, made an observation that would reshape galactic understanding of human potential. They did not just defeat a superior enemy force. They defeated them using technology that began as recreational fitness equipment. In the years that followed, the galaxy would remember the Battle of the Outer Rim as the moment when humans proved that ingenuity and adaptation could overcome technological superiority. The species that had turned scientific instruments into gym equipment had saved galactic civilization using weapons that evolved from their determination to make themselves stronger. The revolution that began with 3 alien scientists creating a tool for exploration had culminated in humanity becoming the galaxy's protectors. The gravity suits that were designed to help different species understand each other's worlds had become the foundation for technology that protected all worlds. As Admiral Mitchell reviewed the battle reports, she smiled with the satisfaction of someone who had witnessed her species achieve its true potential. The humans had started with a simple question: what if we used this to get stronger? That question had led them to become the strongest force in the galaxy. The alien scientists who had created the original gravity suit could never have imagined that their careful scientific instrument would become the foundation for humanity's greatest achievement. But then, again, they had never fully understood the human capacity to transform any tool into something extraordinary. The gravity revolution was complete, but the human journey toward unlimited potential had only just begun.